no denying that Canada is an international power when it comes to curling. There's no denying that Canada is an international power when it comes to curling. But Kevin Martin, yes, is going to the World Summit.
All right, obviously a technical glitch on the audio emanating from the ice sheet in Ogden. Don Whitman trying to tell us that there's no denying Canada's an international power in curling, and that is to be sure. This is a huge game for the Canadians versus Norway, with both teams 6-1 in the draw so far. Kevin Martin, of course, got to Albertville in 1992 when it was a demonstration sport, and now he gets set to hook up with the Norwegians in this one and only draw for the Canadian men today. Don, how's your microphone? Can you hear us now? Or can we hear you?
I can hear you, Ron, but
we hear you too, Don. There's good news. So out to you.
It's a microphone problem at this end, a little glitch at the ice sheet in Ogden, and hopefully for Kevin Martin and company, no glitches in this very important game against Paul Trulsen of Norway. It's a battle for first place. Two teams with identical records of 6-1. And the Canadian team's lone blemish, an extra end loss to Sweden. And that was a very exciting, a very entertaining game. And as both skips, Peja Lindholm of Sweden and Kevin Martin of Canada, said after the game, just a little weird at times as well. Some strange things happened during the course of that game. The team from Norway has only had one loss, so they have a great opportunity to finish atop the standings with a victory. They started with a bye and then lost their first game to Switzerland by a score of 5-4. Since then, they have been perfect against France, Great Britain, Denmark, Finland, and Germany. Paul Trulsen and his Norwegian team spent time in Canada prior to coming to Salt Lake City. They prepared in both Sault Ste. Marie and Winnipeg.
The interesting part of this game is how well Kevin Martin's team will play when they really want a win. We saw them play against Peja Lindholm, and they were really worked up about that game. They've got some history with Sweden, and they didn't play all that well. Here, it's the battle for first place, and you can bet that Kevin Martin and his team will want to win this game. Will they be wound up, or will they be able to relax enough to play their best?
I think Kevin and his team have had two real struggles. They're not only in their loss to Sweden, but in their most recent victory. Don Walchuk and Don Bartlett in particular struggled badly, and look for them to pick up their game. If they're going to have a chance today, all four players are going to have to play at their best, because this Paul Trulsen team is on a roll, 6 in a row, and they are certainly going to be very relaxed. Their main goal coming here was to make the playoffs. They've already guaranteed themselves a playoff spot, so Paul Trulsen's going to come into this game knowing this will be a great test for his team, a good way to prepare for the playoffs, and they're going to be ready to go.
Paul Trulsen also has a lot of confidence in playing against Canadian teams. Last year's World Championships in Lausanne, Switzerland, 2001, they beat Canada's Randy Ferbey, Dave Nedoin in the bronze medal match and played very well against them.
I was talking to Paul prior to this game getting underway, and I asked how his voice was holding out. He said, I hope I make it through this Canadian game. He said, I guess I've been yelling a little too much. There's also been one change on this Norwegian roster from the lineup we saw the other day. Torger Nørgaard has replaced Bent Ramsfell at lead.
And I am surprised, because this alternate has not seen any action thus far in the round robin.
It's interesting, though, in Nagano, the Norwegians did the same thing against our team. Michael Ramsfell was skipping that team, and he sat out in the final round robin game. So perhaps they're just doing this while they play the Canadians, not showing Team Canada their regular lineup.
And the reason why they would do that would be that they're thinking, we've already assured ourselves a playoff spot. Let's not show Canada everything that we've got just yet. Let's wait for the semifinals or the finals, where we'll play them again, where it really means a lot.
Kevin Martin ignoring the stone that the Norwegians threw into the rings, and he's asking for a corner guard from his lead, Don Bartlett, a native of Gander, Newfoundland.
And if you haven't watched any of the curling all week, I will tell you that this is what Kevin Martin has done every game of every round robin game so far in this Olympic competition. Gone to the guards first and first shot.
In a couple of games that we saw earlier involving this Canadian team and their attempts at playing the corner guard, Don Bartlett really had difficulties with his weight.
Not in the first 3 or 4 games of this round robin, but certainly in the last 3, Don Bartlett has really struggled, uncharacteristically.
Okay, yep. Free. Free.
Nørgaard, the lead, has experience in international competition. He played in the 1998 World Championships in Kamloops.
Don Bartlett's looking to put some early pressure on Norway. A slight miss by the Norwegian lead has allowed Don Bartlett an opportunity to play hit and roll in behind those 2 corner guards.
Very nice.
He taps the yellow rock to the back of the 4-foot. Norway still lies 1.
He was looking for a little bit more curl from that rock to finish and get behind that corner guard.
Flemming Devanger at second stone for Norway. Taking a run at the red Canadian rock. He drives it out and covers up the stone at the back of the 4. Again, Kevin Martin is looking for a hit and roll. Carter Rycroft, the second, will attempt it.
The youngest member of this Kevin Martin team, but has been playing fantastic. 87% overall are his numbers thus far in the round robin.
He makes contact with the stone at the back of the 4-foot as well. Gets a bit of a roll, not quite as much as he wanted. But Canada does have shot stone. Devanger was a part of the bronze medal team at the World Championships in Lausanne last year.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Get. Free. 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 Free.
Will they get past the guard?
Free.
Just a little rub, and he'll now push the Canadian stone a little further behind cover, although he did also rub the guard.
And that's one of those situations where if you knew you were going to rub the guard, that you want to hit it a little harder and get it out of the way.
Go to here. I like that.
That stone at the top 4-foot is going to be very difficult to remove now, though. It is less exposed than it was before Devanger threw that last stone. Just a good opportunity for Kevin to possibly lie 2 buried.
We have noticed on this sheet of ice that it has the most movement of any of the 4 sheets that are in play at the ice sheet in Ogden.
Almost
But
full keen over here, I'd say.
Carter Rycroft has too much weight, it would appear.
Not a good sign when the sweepers drop off it after you let it go. Unfortunate miss there for Carter. See that stone about half exposed. It looks like they're going to try to make a play on it again.
Lars Weber is married to Paul Trulsen's sister, Trina, who was the runner-up for the 1989 Women's World Championship.
This looks good.
Nice controlled weight.
And this is nothing new for Norway. They've been making a lot of good shots, although Kevin will be fairly comfortable here.
On this way, it'll finish better.
This intern side, as you mentioned, Don, has been very, very swingy. And once the speed picks up, you'll be seeing ice middle of the 12-foot. We'll get to the button on sheet C. Early in the game, though, it tends to run a touch straighter until the speed gets a little quicker.
Difficult to tell what was going to happen with the intern with Carter Rycroft because he simply had too much weight from the get-go. They're going to have to work to get it past the guard. He's by.
Easy. Whoa.
Great brushing by Bartlett and Rycroft to get that rock in a good position. Completely buried behind their own corner guard.
While Walchuk drew the edge of the 4 with the in-turn, Weber will try and come in with the out-turn.
And this stone has got to stop at the top of the 8-foot.
With good line as well. Don't want to leave Canada an opportunity to hit and roll behind those corner guards to lie to.
He's on the guard.
Not a bad spot for Norway, though. Tight center guard. They can use that stone later. Kevin Martin has to be careful here. Or Don Bartlett say you almost have to hit it.
Make this double. That's fine. Nose hit. That's pretty good.
You see Kevin avoiding that center guard at all costs here. Another option would be to go around that into the top 4-foot, but he's concerned about the run back.
And that's just showing a lot of respect for the opposition.
Just about normal. Yep. Whoa. Good shot.
The double is made by Don Walchuk. Canada lies too. It would appear that Walchuk is at the top of his game starting play today. In the loss to Sweden, he curled 55%. I can't ever remember curling 55% in a game.
And you see that come around that he played into the top of the 4-foot circle. That's the first come around we've seen in about 2 or 3 games from any of the Canadians that has stopped short of the tee line. They've had real difficulty getting comfortable with the speed of the ice. Good opportunity now for Norway. Hit and roll into the back of the 4-foot, and they can get shot rock there in behind those guards.
Can't afford to ignore this wide open Canadian stone because Canada has last rock.
And apart from the first draw of the competition where they flip for last rock, flip the coin for last rock is assigned over the balance of the competition until the playoffs.
Now, according to the statistics, the out-turn hit for Paul Trulsen has been a problem slightly. It's 86% on his in-turn hits, 78% on his out-turn. And we just saw a miscue on his out-turn there.
Kevin looking just for a hit and stay out there in the wings. Not 100% sure he wants to roll buried here. Jones will allow Trulsen to come around to get out of the end.
2 points starting this game is a great start for Canada.
If he's going to make the roll, got the double, I think.
On to the other Norwegian rock, and Canada is lying 2 behind cover. Kevin Martin, 1985 Canadian junior champion, 91 and 97 Brier champion.
Forcing the steal one.
sometimes when you make a shot too good, you force the hand of the opposition. He has no choice. Paul Trulsen has to make the perfect come around. If he does, it may take the end away from Canada.
But if he doesn't, it gives Canada a chance for 3. Huge shot for Trulsen, this final stone of end number 1, Canada with last rock.
The good news for Canada is they're having a much stronger first end than they've had in the last several games where they've been in trouble the first end.
It's not heavy.
3 brushes trying to drag it as far as it will go.
And that's wide open.
Jesus.
We'll see a much more relaxed Canadian team as they throw this wide open hit for 3 in the first end of an important game.
First place on the line in the battle between Kevin Martin and Paul Trulsen. Martin with final stone on this opening end. Only 4 times during the entire competition has Canada scored 3 on any one end. He didn't get the nose hit, but the stone remains in the rings, and he picks up 3.
Very fortunate to make that hit.
So Canada is off to a great start, jumping into a 3-0 lead over Norway.
That was a beauty.
The Bud Light Institute presents the ultimate soft rock compilation for men. Ulterior Emotions. You'll get hits like
I love you dearly because you let me go out with my friends on a weekly basis.
Play It Soft, Play It Often.
Our relationship is getting stronger with every golf game that I play.
Woman, it takes a special kind of woman to make sandwiches for the guys.
Who could forget?
You said it was okay, okay. I should have known it wasn't. No.
You're beautiful.
Baby, can I go up north this weekend? Right on.
And the classic.
You didn't have to give me that beer.
Give the gift of love. Visit BudLightInstitute.ca for details.
This calls for Bud Light.
Canada and Finland tied 2-2. A marvelous tournament.
This is amazing. I know. Is your internet access always this fast? Of course. Oh, this is awesome.
From the face-off, it's back to the point. Shooting.
The best time to go fast is always. Order Bell Simpatico High-Speed Edition today. For a limited time, pay $24.95 a month. Plus, get a free self-installation kit.
How do you find them? What signs do you look for? How do you detect the precious few, the people who can think creatively? The financial and strategic problem solvers. The men and women trained to play a leadership role in your business, with the vision and know-how to take it to new heights. Look for CMAs, Certified Management Accountants, shaping the future of business.
In their world, they were family, until business got in the way of brotherhood.
2 guys are here to kill you. I got over 100 people want me dead. Why should 2 more bother me?
The riveting 3-part miniseries, The Last Chapter, begins March 3rd on CBC.
Coming in March, the pursuit of excellence knows no limits. The world's top athletes with disabilities go for gold at the 8th Paralympic Winter Games in Salt Lake City, March 9th to 16th on CBC.
Welcome back to the ice sheet in Ogden, where Canada's Kevin Martin is off to a great start against Paul Trulsen of Norway.
Line's a little tight. Lots of weight, I think. Okay.
Scoring 3 on the opening end.
Line's good. Top line's real good.
3-0 Canadian lead in this showdown for first place. Both teams coming in with a 6-1 record.
Finish it. Lots of weight, lots of weight, lots of weight.
6-1 record.
Finish it. Lots of weight, lots of weight. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1. 6-1
Unfortunately, the 3 is a little bit tainted because Kevin Martin's open hit for 3 rubbed the guard, redirected to get the takeout. If he would have got by the guard, don't know what would happen. Might have doubled off his own.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And in this case, that was certainly true. We've seen that several times in this round robin from Kevin Martin already.
An interesting change on the part of the Norwegian team. Bent Ramsfjell is now back in at lead, and Torger Nergard is out of the competition. Ramsfjell has been the lead throughout the entire week. Now, they made this change to give Nergard an opportunity to play. He must play at least one end to be eligible for a medal.
The 5th players accompany the teams, and they must throw their 2 rocks, be a part of one end to be eligible for a medal if you make the podium. The interesting part is that if they never played, they still accompany the team. If they are chosen for random drug testing and fail that drug testing, the entire team is eliminated. So it's kind of a quirky little thing. Most teams will do what we just saw Norway do, and that is sub in their alternate team in the first end of a game. But most teams would use kind of a meaningless game, a game against an easier opposition. You'd look at your round robin and say, well, France is the weakest team in this field. We'll put in our lead during that game. Unusual that they do this swap against Canada.
Well, I'm glad you explained that. I thought it was only because they gave up 3 in the first end that they substituted. So Paul's a very tough skip if that's the case.
If that's the case, yeah.
The Canadian alternate is Ken Trulsenberg, and he has had 2 opportunities to play. He got into the Canadian romp over Finland, where they won 9-4 in 6 ends, and also into the game against France, where they won 8-1 through 6 ends. They had hoped to sneak him into the final end of the game against the United States, but that game ended before Trulsenberg could get into the lineup.
And I think worth mentioning is the fact that Don Bartlett has had back problems, and that's one of the reasons that Ken Trulsenberg's been coming in blowouts. And as it turned out, they only had to play one end with him, but he was certainly going to be in there for the rest of the game, however long that would have been.
Carter Rycroft, the second for this Canadian team, previously played in Alberta with Dave Medowin and Randy Furby. Made the switch over to Kevin Martin 2 years ago. And of course, Randy Furby will be back to defend his Brier title in Calgary. He won the Alberta Championship.
Shot.
I'm sure after Randy Furby won the Brier last year, he's wondering if he made the right decision, but I'm sure all doubts have been erased after winning the trials in Regina.
And a fair bit of cash over the last couple of years. I think Carter knows how to pick the teams to play with.
Oh, Kevin Martin said he saw Carter play 100% in a couple of games and said, I need him at second stone.
Well, and the other thing that Kevin Martin is so into technical parts of the game, and Carter Rycroft throws as close to perfect as you'll get. And I think that was another factor in Kevin Martin's decision.
A miss by Fleming Devanger. And the stone goes out the back end.
Try to bury a bit. Bury it half.
Another good situation for Kevin, and he's realizing his goal here is to force Norway into one. And a center guard at this point will only help Norway. That stone at the top 12 is in a perfect position for Canada.
Kevin Martin never considered going up and peeling the guard.
Hard all the way.
16 times during
Hard line.
the round robin competitions through 7 games they've been able to steal.
Just top 8. Bounce it off if you can. Corners no good. Bounce it.
Not bad.
Paul Trulsen not playing the double here. He's playing the hit and roll in front of that red stone that's half buried.
The ideal, if Weber could get his shooter to be frozen to the Canadian stone at the top of the house.
Changed his mind now. Stone isn't going to curl enough.
Canada still has shot. The rock at the back of the 12-foot.
That was quite a good result, though. It got that stone that was half buried behind the corner guard out of the way, and now there is room to play a draw for Norway. So if Kevin does not make this roll, look for Trulsen to play the straight come around that corner guard.
Canada now lies 3 as Walchuk successfully removes the Norwegian stone.
And there's the broom for the come around. Sheet's running a little bit straighter today than it has been on previous days.
As the building kind of warms up and they break down the pebble, we'll have to watch to see if more swing comes into the ice, where we have seen great movement on this sheet.
This one is curling. Great line. Will it stop?
Canada still lies 3 as Kevin Martin takes the stone to the back.
Walchuk just making sure.
Circling the wagons. He's you're going to see Kevin avoid that corner guard, and you see he's going to draw around his own now at the top of the 12-foot. Particularly on this side of the sheet, this is where we've seen the swing.
The only thing I'm worried about is just enough ice.
Well, we're taking the edge of the 4.
Well, no, but early in practice, I get button from here.
I'd be close.
All you do is get a quarter buried.
Martin got off to a great start in the competition. He was 96% in his 6-4 win over Great Britain and 94% in his 8-3 win over the United States on opening day.
Not much weight.
And although he's at 100% in this game, he did get lucky on his first one, so he'd like to have a couple of nice throws here to really settle down.
Just 8 foot. Okay, hard. Line's real good.
Line's real good. Go.
Go. Much easier to settle down with a 3-point lead.
Hard. Finishing nice. Hard. That's good, Donnie.
Shot.
Very nice.
Canada lies 4.
Finishes nice, eh?
Trulsen is looking just to come in with very soft weight, back 4, just to move that Canadian stone into the bag. He's looking at some of the other angles as well.
There is a possibility of a triple here. Get right where his broom is. Shooter rolls over here.
There's one empty sheet on this morning's draw. Only 2 other games in progress. A key battle between Germany and Sweden. They are scoreless. Sweden with a 5-2 record. Germany at 4-3. France and Switzerland in the only other game. Trulsen wanting to move some red rocks here.
This is wide. He's got to roll it out of the way now.
Canada still lies 3.
Må ha lagt den ut, ja.
Where are we putting
Den er
this?
flere lenger ut enn det jeg sikta.
One guy was shaking his head, the other guy did not. Well, we got to be guarding this a little bit. Right? You got to watch through. You're awful close there. Right? Yeah. So.
Same spot would be pretty good.
He can't hit it. Yeah, even here. Yeah. Okay.
Here's your room.
All right.
Wow. Big difference.
Same ice as you just want to just do this then. I wouldn't mind throwing him that same hit.
Just going to throw the same spot that he had on his first one and force Trulsen either to draw against 4.
Want a half in front of that one, eh? Or a quarter?
Well, that, even a quarter.
Yeah.
But most important to guard the shot rock. Yeah. Because that in-turn draw is tight.
That's the same ice for this, eh?
Yeah, but I'll just, but I threw it a little back first. This one will definitely curl more. Okay.
A great opportunity for Kevin Martin to put some real pressure on Paul Trulsen on this second end, leading 3-0.
Lots of weight I got, yeah.
Line's a little tighter. Whoa, then. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Coming down.
Whoa.
Lots of weight.
Whoa.
We're right to the other one.
Whoa.
Right to the other one.
Whoa.
No, it's coming down.
Whoa.
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 Still there.
Whoa. Let it curl. Whoa. Whoa.
A great judgment by Don Bartlett. Knew exactly where that stone was going as soon as Kevin let it go.
But by coming in deep, Kevin Martin has let Paul Trulsen off the hook here. A wide open hit on the nose will get him a point. Had he come 2 feet, 3 feet shorter in the 12-foot, and Paul Trulsen wouldn't have such an easy shot to get his point.
This is the out-turn hit. We've already seen him miss 2 of these in this game.
The final stone of N2 for Paul Trulsen, facing 4 Canadian stones.
This is wide as well.
But he's got a target of 2 red rocks. Will he hit and stay? No. He's going to roll, and it's a steal of 1 for Canada. So Kevin Martin has taken early control. 4-0. He leads Norway.
When Canada wins at the Olympic Winter Games, show your pride and show your Visa card. Because every time Canada wins a medal in Salt Lake City, there's more you can win. And every time you use your Visa card from now until the end of the games, you get another chance to win. When Canada wins, you can win.
In the lush Central Valley of Chile, it's taken centuries of experience to grow fruit this good. Fortunately, it arrives fresh at Food Basics considerably faster. Fresh Chilean fruit. It's in season and in your supermarket right now. Brought to you with care by the fruit farmers of Chile and Food Basics.
Hey, Ray, look at this. Wall-to-wall entertainment.
You want entertainment, Carl? I'll give you entertainment. Oh. Look, Carl, I'm a maniac! Maniac!
No argument here.
Let's see their entertainment do this.
Whoa, Ray, I don't want to see anything do that.
At Blockbuster, the hottest new releases are guaranteed on DVD, so you'll always find the entertainment you want.
That's it, Carl! Shake what your mama gave you!
Make it a Blockbuster night.
Now appearing at a living room near you. Orville Redenbacher's Ultimate Theater-Style Popcorn. Our pour-over pouch lets you add all the buttery topping you want, so nothing tastes fresher or more buttery. Ultimate Theater-Style Popcorn from Orville Redenbacher. just like at the movies, only better.
Discover the Olympic Winter Games online. Get interactive with video features and forums, complete news of events, listings, and get in touch with your hometown hero. Experience Salt Lake 2002 at cbc.ca/Olympics. Olympic hockey gold is a distant memory for Canada. That may soon change.
This is our Olympic team of 2002.
From training camp to Salt Lake City, the story of Canada's Olympic team. Gold Rush 2002, today at 4 on CBC.
Only 3 games in the men's draw on this Sunday morning, and it's a key game between Peja Lindholm of Sweden and Sebastian Stock of Germany. Lindholm missed a draw for 2 on end number 2, came away with just a point. He leads 1-0. Sheet B is empty. On sheet C, Canada with a steal of 1 on 2 after 3 on the first, leading Norway 4-0, and Switzerland with a record of 4-3, needing a win against France. And Andreas Schwaller is off to a 1-0 lead over Dominic Dupont-Rock. The teams with the bye today: Denmark, Finland, the United States, and Great Britain. All the contending teams, Norway, Canada, Sweden, Germany, and Switzerland, have the bye on the men's draw this evening. There are only 2 men's games this evening. France versus Great Britain, it's meaningless. And the USA, Finland, that's in the iffy category.
And if you're just joining us for the curling, the reason why there's so many byes in this crazy kind of draw is because there's 10 men's teams, 10 women's teams, and only 4 sheets of ice here in Ogden. The difference between that and the last Olympic Games in Nagano was there was only 8 women's teams, 8 men's teams with 4 sheets of ice, and then you have an even draw.
And one of the interesting things, and we've talked about that before, is that Canada has the bye tonight. Then Canada plays Denmark tomorrow, an afternoon game. Tuesday is the day set aside for tiebreakers, so Canada won't be involved. So there's going to be a fair bit of time between games for this Canadian men's team.
And there's 2 ways of looking at it. When you're used to playing in these round robins, you're used to playing a fairly regular schedule. 2 games one day, 1 game the next, and then repeat that kind of pattern. You want to keep playing and get this over with. You want to get to the playoffs right away. But you'll have to look at the next couple days as staying sharp and taking some rest. Get yourself ready for those sudden death semifinals. Oh. Big miss here for Devanger from Norway.
Got nothing yet. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Out.
Carter Rycroft, with that stone moving just at the last minute, makes contact with both yellow stones out front.
Great shot.
You could hear Kevin Martin all the way saying nothing yet. And it was just at the finish that Rycroft's stone made contact.
Paul Trulsen asking the second just to tap that stone at the top 4 foot back in behind the tee line. Set up a freeze possibility later in the end. Stone time's been about 14 seconds hog to hog for a tee line draw.
Strategy is very simple for Canada with a 4-point lead, even though they don't have last rock. They'll just be removing these guards, removing things yellow until the end of the end with Kevin Martin's rocks, depending on the situation.
Don Walchuk attempting the removal of the stones straddling the center line. He wants to peel and roll the shooter out of the way, and that he does.
We mentioned Don Walchuk struggling in the last 3 games or so of this round robin. Mostly it has been with draw weight. His hits are his bread and butter shots.
Actually, against Sweden, Don was an all-around curler. His hits were struggling as well. And you know, it was very uncharacteristic. He's also complained a little bit about his foot being sore, and he hasn't made a big deal about it, but they were discussing practicing after an evening draw, and he said, my foot's too sore, I'm just going to take a rest. And that was 2 days ago. And he hasn't complained anything more than that.
Okay. Now a little change in strategy for Kevin Martin.
Well, now there's only 3 stones to come for Kevin Martin, and that guard, that yellow guard, is in a pretty good place for him. So he's going to really try to see if he can steal another end here.
And he wants to get tucked a little bit behind that guard to prevent the little bump back, because the guard does belong to Norway.
Come on. Whoa. Just a guard.
Okay, bring it tight.
Well, you got fighter. Hard. Go nuts. Hard.
Might be able to choke the yellow. Might be able to choke.
And that's what he's referring to, choking the yellow, the little bump on the yellow.
I think the raise is still there, however.
Good shot.
You talked about Don Walchuk's problems with draw weight. The other day in one of the games, at about the 5th end, he finally said to Kevin Martin, I just can't find draw weight. I have no idea where it's going.
Yeah, he struggled big time, and you had to feel for him listening. He's trying his best, just couldn't figure it out.
A lot better today, though.
Oh, yeah, and that happens to the best of curlers. They just have days that are frustrating. Get caught on a certain spot, and the next time you can't figure out draw weight.
Playing the come around here.
Down on the Canadian stone, and Norway lies 1.
You can hear Bartlett say that you can see half.
See what I can see.
Tap that all the way out? Huh? You tap that out?
Oh. It's a bit of a dangerous pick.
Kevin Martin's wife Shauna, his son Carrick, and his parents, his mother Bev and father Ab, watching the action. They've been in attendance at every draw.
Whoa. It's a pretty good throw, I think.
Hang on. Hold your roll.
Picking the yellow stone out of there. As soon as he let it go, Kevin knew it was a good throw, and you'll often hear Kevin make that comment. He'll say, good slide, or that's a good throw, as soon as he releases.
Well, he's very much a technician, and he just puts the broom down and tries to throw it as clean and as pure as he can.
I didn't want to pick that yellow beast, eh? I didn't put it back.
Trulsen now ignoring those guards out front. I think the raise mightn't be a bad play here. Just he could open things up if he doesn't make it, but he's elected to play very aggressively here and try to draw the side of the button. And this turn will swing in there. You should be able to get this totally buried here on the button.
One of the advantages of watching all the sheets on every draw is we know that this sheet C and this in-turn going away will curl like crazy, especially at the end of the path of this draw.
Is he by the yellow? No, he gets the rub.
Okay.
Now a really good chance here for Kevin to steal.
Even knows it.
You can see how close he is to the center line here. He needs to get this out to the edge of the 8-foot. And right away, the sweeper jumped on it, and it was all for line.
He knew right away when he let it go, put his head down. Oh, no.
Sure, but he's
hole.
going to draw, I would think.
Yeah.
Kevin Martin has already stolen 1 point. He's threatening to steal again on N3.
Gonna nose this.
Canada lies 2.
We'll see if Trulsen takes some more ice here. On his first draw, he had ice at the edge of the 8-foot. In this area here, and he's moved now the broom out another 4 to 6 inches. Looking for a draw to the button. Stay in this game.
Needs full 4-foot. And this is really in the hands of the sweepers once he releases. They'll need to make the judgment.
Down 4-0, playing 3. Trulsen facing 2 Canadian stones with his final stone. As Jones said, full 4 required.
Got better line this time.
Is he by? Just passed. Has he got enough weight? No, it's going to come up short. And it's another steal for Canada. So Kevin Martin is off to a great start in this battle for first place, leading Paul Trulsen of Norway 5-0 through 3.
When you represent Canada, it's a great feeling. You know, it's the pride. I start my training at least 3 months ahead, you know, to work on the fundamentals, which means a lot of early mornings. Sure, I've made some sacrifices, but it's worth it. The trick is to get ahead of the game.
Here's your chance to get ahead of the game. Purchase virtually any 2002 General Motors vehicle and don't pay for 3 months. Plus, get 0% purchase financing. Only at your GM dealer.
Everybody's got a dream. I just happen to dream in gold.
To celebrate the Olympic Games, McDonald's brings you 2 world-famous tastes at a great price. A Big Mac and small fries for only $2 plus tax. Every toonie should be worth this much.
There's a little McDonald's in everyone.
Future Shop service specialists install more than hardware and software. They install possibilities. Because life's full of great moments. Why not upgrade them? Future Shock. You'll like what the future has in store.
Ontario is a great place to live, work, and raise a family.
That's why it keeps growing.
As we grow, we're going to need more electricity.
Continuous supply for the future.
And more companies generating electricity.
On May 1st, Ontario is opening its electricity market to competition. This means you can either stay with your current supplier at market rates, or you can choose to buy your electricity at a fixed rate from a retailer licensed by the Ontario Energy Board. The choice is up to you. For more information or a free brochure, call us. We're here to help.
Next up on our tour is what used to be called the office. Sometimes they worked right through the night. They kept pictures of their families so they'd remember what they looked like. Questions? Yeah.
Where did the chains attach?
Actually chained to your desk was a figure of speech, but it might as well have been right here.
Toshiba, the world's #1 notebook computer with Intel processors. The notebook of choice.
As evidenced by the number of hockey jerseys being worn by the spectators, there is a lot of Canadian support for Kevin Martin and his Canadian team in this first place showdown with Norway. Now, even if Canada wins this game, it would still be possible for Norway to wind up in a tie for first place with Canada. Canada's final game is against Denmark. Norway also has the bye this evening. Paul Trulsen's final game is with Sweden. But based on winning the battle between the two, Canada would get first place. But Canada has to be clear first in order to have last rock in the playoffs.
Yes, it's a very interesting system. Interesting being the key word in that sentence. If Canada finishes first, they need to be clear of the field, meaning they have to have a better winning record when they go into the semifinals. So if their record was 7-2 and another team was 7-2 like Norway, but they played in the semifinals a team that had a 6-3 record, you would think that they would get hammered because they have a better record than that team. That doesn't count. You have to be clear of the entire field to get that last rock assignment in the semifinals and final.
So that's why Kelly Law is going to have last rock in the playoffs, because she is clear of the field, unbeaten through 8 draws.
No. Fine.
2 Canadian stones sitting at the top of the 8-foot as Martin peels a corner guard.
And in terms of seeding for the playoffs, Peter Lindholm still has a chance to finish first because he did defeat Kevin Martin and he only has 2 losses. So if he can go through the rest of the round robin with only 2 losses and Kevin Martin does lose another game to Denmark in the final game, Lindholm will then be assigned first place because he defeated Canada.
Sweden is playing Germany right now. Sweden also has the bye this evening, and Sweden's final game is against Paul Trulsen of Norway. Germany coming into today's competition with a 4-3 record. Playing Sweden now. They have the bye this evening, and Sebastian Stock will wind things up against Switzerland.
Such an interesting time of the round robin when the crunch time for many of these teams with 2 losses, with 3 losses, whether they'll make the playoffs or not. Really, in this round robin format, you know, it's nice to have that goal of finishing first and clear of the field to get the hammer, but there is no huge advantage to finishing first or fourth. You're all on an even playing field when you get to the semifinal of international competition, when it is sudden death. So you may go through the round robin undefeated and you lose the semifinal game to a team that may have 4 losses, and you have no chance of getting to the gold medal match.
Go up, go up. Ja. Får dere på linja? Nei. Kanskje.
You still think occasionally about your semifinal game in Nagano and Sandra Schmirler's last rock draw that just dug in against Kirstier?
Occasionally. Oh gosh, it's in my nightmares. It was a very poorly played game by both teams. Our ice conditions had changed. No excuses, we just didn't play very well. Come to the 11th inning, all you need is a draw to the 8-foot. You'd think you'd have that case too, but my goodness, I dropped off that stone at about the hog line and started yelling at it to stop, and it stopped with about an inch to spare.
Yep. Oh. Yep. Hard.
The objective of the Canadian team, get rid of the yellow stones, and Don Walchuk removes 2 out front.
To get things going here, Trulsen is down 5 against a great hitting team from Canada. He has to pull out all stops, got to get a lot of rocks in play, use the free guard zone, use the rocks that are in the house, but he needs misses. That's the bottom line. He needs misses out of the Canadian team, and the numbers that the Canadian team are posting so far are indicating, you know, he's going to be hard-pressed to get those misses.
And when you have to gamble when you're down 5-0, as Trulsen is right now, it could get ugly very quickly, because Martin is going to have an opportunity to steal, because there are going to be some opportunities provided by Trulsen gambling for all he's worth.
Good shot. It's nice to finally see a team that is not afraid of losing, meaning they're playing the right shot. They're not just trying to keep this game close. And they are playing the freezes that are required and the come rounds that are required. And quite often we've seen thus far in the round robin, teams are been hitting, trying to stay close to Team Canada, both on the men's and the women's side. And
well, Trulsen is playing to win, not playing to stay close.
Yes, and there's a big difference in the strategy calls. In international competition, in this Olympic competition here, 6 ends have to be played. So whether Norway gambles and Canada continues to steal, they will have to play a minimum of 6 ends.
Canada not at all concerned about the removal of the red rock. The important assignment for Don Walchuk, get rid of the Yellowstone, and he did.
And this is a fairly simple shot there for Don Walchuk. And as you mentioned, Don, he's just looking to clear out as many stones as possible.
You couldn't jam it anywhere. No, you hit it any place, wasn't going to jam. It's fine.
It's good to see Don Walchuk smiling again. When you're struggling like he was, and so uncharacteristically so, in an important event in your life like the Olympic Games, it doesn't feel very good. It's nice to see Walchuk get his game back at this point in the round robin.
Ikke mye. Det er bra spilt, det.
Ja, bra forsøk, Lars.
Another routine hit here for Kevin Martin. Anything on the broom side of that Yellowstone will do the trick.
Don Walchuk having a conversation with Lars Weberg. Walchuk asking Weberg if his family is here. Walchuk pointing out where his family is sitting in the stands. Martin removes the Yellowstone. Canada lies 1.
Kanskje like greit. Det blir ikke noe stor. Kanskje litt lite, men kanskje litt mer der.
Looking for a hit and roll. In turn, hit and roll over in behind that corner guard and hope to score 2 here on the 4th. Paul Trulsen's looking for something positive to happen here, whether he scores a point, even a blank at this stage would be a good end.
A little roll and not enough. It's still open.
You see Kevin Martin taking no time whatsoever. Wide open hit. Kevin Martin can get a little flop behind the corner guard as well, just to make Norway's shot a little bit more difficult.
Well, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Just keeping it clean all the way down.
So Trulsen will attempt to blank with his final stone of this 4th end, hoping to get something going on 5. He trails by 5. Kevin Martin has a few international blemishes on a great curling career. His failure to win at the World Championships in 1991 in Winnipeg, where he lost to David Smith of Scotland in the final, and in 1997 in Bern, where he lost the semifinal game to Pia Lindholm of Sweden.
As well as the loss in Albertville.
And the World Juniors. Trulsen walking past Martin and Bartlett saying, yes, we're finally on the scoreboard. So it's 5-1 Canada heading to 5.
I helped her in school, you know, pass her classes and everything.
Well, I took some photos.
Gave her rides to the mountain. I fed her lunch.
Oh, yeah.
This is what Natasha looks like when she's concentrating.
Totally, she looks like that. We've grown up with each other. It's like, I can't imagine what any of us would be like if we hadn't known each other.
Get Roots winter wear now at Petro-Canada. A portion of the proceeds goes to our athletes.
Emily Darrow was a healer and a credit to the human race.
In the depths of the heart.
I believe she's trying to contact me.
In the shadows of the mind.
She was there. Where? All around me.
Anything is possible.
It was Emily.
Aren't you the guy that doesn't believe in heaven?
I'm not crazy.
Dragonfly. At theaters Friday, February 22nd.
At the edge of the Western world, there's a place where the day dawns first. The most easterly point in North America, Cape Spear National Historic Site, Newfoundland and Labrador.
Check the score.
Okay. It's 2-all.
9.5
2-all?
seconds left, and a huge...
Sally, yeah, we're on the way.
Who's here? Everybody's here.
Here we go. Stepping up, on alone, shooting.
Your connections, your time. Go. Introducing Real-Time Multi-Pack 30. Get 150 weekday, weeknight, weekend, and wireless web minutes every month. Visit Bell World or Bell Mobility today.
Discover the Olympic Winter Games online. Get interactive with video features and forums, complete news of events, listings, and get in touch with your hometown hero. Experience Salt Lake 2002 at cbc.ca/Olympics.
In their world, they were family, until business got in the way of brotherhood.
2 guys are here to kill you. I got over 100 people want me dead. Why should 2 more bother me?
The riveting 3-part miniseries, The Last Chapter, begins March 3rd on CBC.
Don Bartlett at lead stone for Team Canada, having a great day, and his wife Shauna and sons Stuart and Donald are in the stands watching the action. Yesterday, on the off day, Bartlett took his family to the Olympic Village. He is really enjoying this Olympic experience, trying to take in as many events as possible, talking about the thrill he had when he delivered the first stone, the stone with the Olympic rings on the handle, and sliding out across the Olympic rings just across the hog line with the Salt Lake City 2002 emblem. He said the dream has finally become reality.
Whoa! Come on. Can't be light.
The very first stone of the end from Bent Ramsfell was burned by the sweepers just across the hog line, so
you know you're having a bad day when you're down 4 points and you need a center guard and your sweepers burn it.
Canada with 2 stones in the rings. Joan mentioned earlier that the rules are you must play 6 ends. Canada had 2 games that ended in 6. 9-4 against Finland and 8-1 against France.
And Canada now has the last rock again, with Norway hitting and sticking on that blank attempt.
The first time Canada has had last rock since the opening end, when they began the game with a 3.
Now the stone's at the back of the 8-foot. Kevin knows it's not likely to score. He's just going to start peeling center guards for the remainder of this end.
Yep. Oh, way to go.
Carter Rycroft also rolls his shooter out of play.
Has a little bit longer distance to travel in international play. The sheet of ice is a little bit wider. You can see all the room on the side of the rings between the red ring.
Is the foam out or is the red line out? The red line, not the foam. Yeah, that's probably out then, isn't it? Okay, I'll go grab it.
Kevin Martin talking to an official about the stone just thrown by Carter Rycroft, and it is out of play.
Well, it's a good idea to check with the officials. You wouldn't want to just kind of make that assumption, and and then be asked to put it back to replace it.
Well, Kevin Martin did go up and take a look at it, and apparently it isn't across the red line on the edge of the sheet, so it stays where it is. Again, Rycroft will attempt to peel the center guard.
That's good. Good throw. It's actually the red line that's out, so it might be out. Doesn't really matter.
No, I don't think that stone's going to be a factor at all. Although I guess it would provide an opportunity for an in-off.
Or a peel attempt that was driven over there and roll into the house. Yeah, it could come into play. The chances are slim, but it could. I would think the on-ice official would need to come up and look at that stone to make a ruling.
On the sheet closest to the crowd, Andreas Schwaller of Switzerland is having a tough time with Dominic Dupont Rock of France. They're in a 1-1 tie playing hand number 5.
And the reason why that is a surprise is France has not been playing very well, and their record would indicate so. Haven't got a win yet.
Walchuk to peel the yellow.
There we got it.
Job done, and there goes the red stone that Martin was uncertain about.
5. Clean up his garbage. 5. Picked up his point he left on the table. See, that's a team player setting up your third, eh? Gotta boost his self-confidence.
How can you tell if things are going well for Team Canada? Kibitzing and relaxed.
The old adage, winners laugh and joke, and losers say, shut up and deal.
Yes, yes. Greit. Bra, Lars.
Bra spilt.
In the Northern Ontario provincial final, Tim Phillips is leading Ron Rosengren by a score of 4-3 through 5 ends.
Good throw.
Only Prince Edward Island and Northern Ontario still to be decided as far as Brier berths go. Brier in Calgary, March 9th to the 17th. It's Peter McDonald against John Likely in Prince Edward Island. Last night, Francois Roberge won Quebec, defeating Guy Hemmings by scoring 4 on the last end.
Det er samme som Lars fikk. Hva er dere spillere?
90.
That's a great Brier field. Defending champion Randy Furby, Pat Ryan from BC, Scott Bitts from Saskatchewan, Mark Lukowicz from Manitoba, John Morris, Ontario, Roberge from Quebec, Russ Howard, New Brunswick, Sean Adams, Nova Scotia, Mark Noseworthy, Newfoundland, John Sahlberg from the Territories.
The Brier Committee in Calgary has to be pleased with some of the names in that field.
And looking ahead to the Brier, we'll have the semifinal and the final for you on March 16th and 17th on CBC television. All games during the week will be seen on TSN. The round robin play leading to the semifinal and final.
Or does he go like top 4? Very top 4, that's what
That's Carter. You could hear talking about speculating on what happened with Norway.
The other option here for Kevin would be to peel that guard away. You know, and if you came down to the 10th end of a big match, I'm sure that's what Kevin would play, knowing that stone at the back, 4-foot, is unlikely to score. But he's trying to get a deuce here. It's only the 5th end still. He knows if getting 2 here will go a long way to finishing the Norwegians off early.
Oh, let it curl. Oh, let it curl.
Hard now. Hard now.
Okay, hard. Get on it. Get on it.
On the roll. Go hard.
Good.
He tapped it enough to become shot.
Just enough.
Now, Norway's going to look for a little back line tap and have the shooter roll perhaps maybe into this area and lie to. Difficult shot. Danger's over curling, driving that red stone straight back, and then Kevin Martin will have a hit for 4.
But as you said earlier, Mike, Paul Trulsen knows how to play to try to get back in the game. He's not afraid to lose. He has to gamble with a 4-point deficit and not last rod.
Trying to hold the line, trying to get it past the Yellowstone out front. He drives the Yellowstone back out of play as the red is promoted, and there is a chance here with the final stone to maybe get 4.
They sweat this one hard to get by the guard, but it over-curled.
Red back onto yellow.
no kind of hole there, is there?
This is a good opportunity
come off ours too.
for 3 or for 4. Kevin's looking just to pick that clean with firm weight, and he'll roll the shooter into his own red stone for 3, possibly 4.
He talked about coming off of his own. The worst thing that can happen is this rock over-curling.
Final stone of N5 for Canada's Kevin Martin.
Might actually see this squirt through and only get 2 here. See where this ends up.
He is going to get 3. 1 red just sliding out of the rings. So both times he's had last rock, Kevin Martin has really capitalized. 3 in the first, 3 in the 5th. He leads by 7.
On March 8th.
Swing!
Do it with style.
This is just damned exciting.
Do it with grace. Do it with brooms. Men with brooms. In theaters March 8th.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I have a moment of your time? True or false? I enjoy frosting in the morning.
True.
Raise the roof.
Try to remain professional, sweets. True or false, sir? Eating nutritious food is important to me.
True.
Bravo. Add a notch to the wheat tally.
Whatever. Okay, that's 43 likes for the sweet side and 43 likes for the wheat side. So what have we learned?
I've learned time at the mall is better spent buying shirts.
Shirts? You don't wear clothes and you have no arms.
Speak for yourself.
Home Depot has employed more Olympic hopefuls than any other company in the world. Home Depot, proud sponsor of the Canadian Olympic team.
On March 8th.
Swing!
Do it with style.
This is just damned exciting.
Do it with grace. Do it with brooms. Men with Brooms. In theaters March 8th.
Winding up for more. Team Canada looks to pick up the play. Up next, Germany as they shoot for gold. Olympic men's hockey.
Game time is at 7 o'clock local, 9 o'clock Eastern tonight in Provo. The Canadian women played there last night and looked fantastic. I don't know if it was a change in the altitude or venue, but they really found their legs, and obviously the Canadians need to do that too. We're in the fifth end break at curling. Kevin Martin's team rolling by a score of 8-1. Don Walchuk with a tremendous draw right at the get-go. His first shot of the game, an in-turn on ice. It's untried first part of the day, and Joan McCusker said that Don had struggled a bit with his draw weight in the last couple of games. That really seemed to set the tone, and from that moment on, Martin's team is rolling. We will perhaps switch games as we go along. This is a blowout, but Don and Mike and Joan will be following the action on all the sheets this morning, so we'll stay with curling for a bit. It's a very busy day, and things get a little hectic later on. Czech versus Sweden is the first significant hockey game this afternoon at 4 o'clock local time. At about the same time, Pierre Luders in the two-man bob will be getting involved in runs 3 and 4, or heats 3 and 4 of the bobsleigh competition. We also have the original dance portion of the figure skating program at the Salt Lake Ice Center with Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz fourth after the compulsories, and we'll be showing that on TSN. The Sports Network will take that in its entirety because we have the obviously the Germany-Canada hockey game conflict. And also Katrina LeMay-Doan is set to go in the 1,000 meters later today, and Cindy Klassen of Winnipeg has a shot for a medal in that competition as well. So to the hockey story. Here are the standings as of the moment with those two big games coming up this afternoon, Sweden versus the Czech Republic and Canada-Germany. As you know, these three games are simply for seeding. I don't think it means a thing because take your pick, you got to beat them somehow in the quarterfinals forward. But if it were to end right now, the Czech Republic would play Belarus, Sweden would play Finland, Canada would play Russia. That would be a dandy quarterfinal showdown. And the United States would play the Germans. Of course, this is not really a fair comparison because not everybody's played an equal number of games, but to reiterate, the tie-breaking formula, of course, is if they are tied head-to-head, which would, in the case of the United States there with Russia, they played to a tie 2-2 last night. The next criteria is goals for and against, and then the criteria after that, if they're still tied, would be most goals scored in the tournament, and that's where the United States, with that big blowout win to start things, have an advantage. Here are the Canadian lines as we understand it as of the moment. Mario Lemieux will sit out tonight and rest his hip/groin, whatever it is that sort of is throwing him off a little bit right now. Eric Lindros moves to center on the number 1 line. Correa stays there, and Owen Nolan goes on the right side. He had a great first game. Gretzky said was the best Canadian. Joe Sakic will have speed around him, and that's important. Milan Hayduk's dad said Joe Sakic's the best player in the world. He'll appreciate the speed of Iginla and Gagne. Nieuwendyk with Yzerman and Smith, and Michael Pekka on a line with Brendan Shanahan and Theron Fleury. Eddie Jovanovski is also expected to dress defensively tonight. No word on who would come out. And the other thing you should know, Olaf Kolzig has declared himself unavailable for the rest of the tournament. So Kolzig, they thought, might come in. Mark Seliger, who was so tremendous for the Germans in net in the preliminary round and then got shelled by the Czechs the other night, will be the netminder. Bob Cole and Harry Neal are at the East Center. There's a light skate planned for Canada today here in Salt Lake City before they head down the way to Provo for the game tonight. Again, 7 o'clock local time, 9 ET for Canada versus Germany, game number 2 of the men's hockey competition. Kevin Martin leads handsomely. We'll get you back to the ice sheet in Ogden when we continue our coverage from Salt Lake City and beyond.
When muscle aches and pains get you down, you can visit any one of a number of specialists. Or you can just buy one. Rub A535, Canada's favorite family of muscle rubs. Specialists in muscle pain relief.
Everything about traveling has changed, but our signs have. You'll find them near all your favorite places, even the ones you haven't discovered yet. Choice Hotels. When you're out there, keep an eye out for our new look. Call 1-800-4CHOICE or visit choicehotels.ca.
When muscle aches and pains get you down, you can visit any one of a number of specialists. Or you can just buy one. Rub A535, Canada's favorite family of muscle rubs. Specialists in muscle pain relief. Information Tuesday.
I had a really bad feeling that I wasn't going to walk away from this scratch.
A small mistake, devastating consequences.
They're too expensive to replace, and I guess we're not. It's just an accident waiting to happen.
Then,
you're looking for mines and you're looking for a pattern.
Clearing the danger. D-miners in the Sudan. Tuesday, February 26th. Following Princess Margaret, her real-life story. Diana Swain, Wendy Mesley, CBC News, Disclosure.
When you're leading 8-1 after 5 ends of play, what do you do during the 5th end break? Well, if you're Canadian lead Don Bartlett, you go over and play with your 2 sons, Donald and Stuart.
Our time's going. Oh, no, I have one more in.
Youngsters having a good time watching the action. Much more interested in the balloons that they have in their possession at this moment in the match. 8-1 the score, Canada leading Norway.
Balloons and popcorn, I would imagine.
An interesting exchange during the break with Paul Trulsen and one of the officials and Kevin Martin. He said, Kevin has lacked a little confidence this week, so I'm just trying to help him out.
Yeah, boosted his confidence. Paul Trulsen has a great sense of humor.
Doesn't get excited. No. He knows what we're doing.
Somebody should tell Paul that the game has started. He is just now moving onto the ice, and that was the reason for the comment from Walchuk and Rycroft. They were saying that Paul isn't even watching as they were following this stone of Bartlett's down the ice.
Oh, you think?
On the line?
I think it's out.
Let's keep him busy.
That's right. 0 on sheet B.
Oh, it's on the line. You know.
He's looking for his 1 point right now.
The what?
I don't know.
Paul said, let's keep the official busy.
Look at that. Who's on the box?
We'll have him measured to see whether the stone is out.
You think it's on the line? It's on the line. It's just, I don't know.
Very important decision. He's taking the coat off.
That's what you said.
A block.
Okay. I thought you hadn't. See.
And you may be wondering.
He's winning everything today.
But it was close.
Thank you.
Maybe you're wondering what he was doing with the block. He just rests the block up against the edge of the stone, and then the bottom of the block is clearly on the ice, and he can see whether it passes the back line or not.
On this Sunday morning, if you've just joined us, Bent Ramsfeld, the lead, did not start the game. The Norwegians gave Torger Nergard an opportunity to get his first taste of Olympic curling action, and to be eligible for a medal should Norway win a medal, the alternate must play at least one end. Nergard did that, and now he's watching as Ramsfeld returns to his position at lead. Don Bartlett, the lead for Canada, at 95% coming into this 6th end.
Short. Right the top 4. All the way there.
Well, if there's anything good to be said for Team Canada's struggles in the middle of this round robin, their loss to Paya Lindholm, as well as not playing real well on some of the other games, is that if you're going to struggle at any point in this competition, in the middle is a good time, because it makes you concentrate real hard on what you're doing, focus on every shot one at a time. And if you want to have your best game, if you want to peak, it's got to be at the end of this competition if you want that gold medal.
And that's exactly what Kevin Martin has alluded to in post-game interviews. Is they weren't all that concerned about their poor play. The fact is they did win a couple of games that they did struggle in. And, you know, bottom line, win is a win. And they knew that there was nowhere to go but up, statistically speaking anyway. particularly after 2 or 3 games, as Joe mentioned, in the middle of the week.
And even in that extra end loss to Pia Lindholm of Sweden, on the 10th, Martin had a very tough attempt at a double where he could have picked up 2 to win. And he said, I just missed it by a smidgen. Otherwise, his record would be perfect right now. He went to an extra end without last rock and lost.
That game, had he won that game, would have been an unbelievable turn of events, because they got break after break after break in that game and really got lucky on several occasions even to stay in that game. And the fact they had a shot to win, albeit difficult, was a minor miracle in itself. And you know, I hate to say that they didn't deserve to win it, but they didn't deserve to win that game.
It's easy for me to say now, especially, but I like to get a loss out of the way. You know, it never feels very good to lose a curling game, especially being as competitive as the athletes are at this level of competition. But as I said before, it tends to make you focus harder. It makes you work harder at getting what you want.
You know, it was really interesting as the Canadian team was watching the Norwegian rock come down the ice on the Jumbotron here at the ice sheet in Ogden, and it's located opposite the spectator side. Spectators only sit on one side. They were showing some of the skiing highlights, and all the Canadian curlers were watching the Jumbotron, which was showing skiing highlights. Right now they have returned to curling action and are focusing on this game. Well, actually, they're on the game on the Jumbotron between France and Switzerland right now, with Switzerland leading 2-1. But from time to time, they show highlights of other events taking place in the Olympic Games. And in a runaway such as this, the Canadian team can afford to take a glance at the Jumbotron. Unless Trulsen scores here, I wouldn't be surprised if this game ends in 6.
Unless he scores
2, I'm thinking.
2 or 3, I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yes, I was thinking as well. 1 is really not enough, giving Canada the hammer back with a 6-point lead.
Yeah, just blast it. Not that far. You gotta go with the outrun around him.
And I doubt if Paul Trulsen has the same attitude as we saw with the Russian women that have come to this competition and looking for experience, any experience, even if they were down 11-3, coming home, they'll still play out every rock of that game just because they don't get a chance to play very much.
Yep, that's fine, Carter, that's fine. Half rock.
Carter Rycroft drives the yellow Norwegian rock out of play. Canada still lies 1 at the top of the 4th. Some of the Canadian team members went into Salt Lake yesterday to watch the women's hockey game, an 11-0 blowout of Sweden. I guess they decided blowout was in order on the curling sheet this morning against Norway.
Well, the first 2 ends of this game, really, Kevin Martin got very fortunate. His hit for 3 in the first end actually rubbed a center guard. And if he gets past that center guard, he's probably going to double one of his own stones out and only get 1. So a good break to start the game, and really good fortune has continued with this Canadian team. And since the second end, really Norway's had no chance to create any offense.
Well, the good news, Walchuk and Bartlett picking up their game, although Kevin did get fortunate on his last stone that he didn't throw so well. The rest of the rocks, the other 7 rocks that were thrown in that first end were well done.
Canada with steals on 2 and 3, and that means that Canada has now stolen points on 18 ends during this round robin competition through 8 games.
Striking bands aren't the same height.
Did you hear that from Kevin Martin? And the reason why I said is because when Walchuk's red stone made contact with Norway's, it bounced, it jumped up, and there's actually marks on the ice for where that rock bounced around, and Kevin Martin said the striking bands of those two rocks are at uneven heights, and that's what made the rock jump. You can see that gray line. That's the striking band, the widest part of the granite.
This has got a lot of curling to do before it gets over to that red stone. It's trying hard, though.
Great weight.
Well, for those who may not be familiar with some of the technical terms in curling, and I mean this in a complimentary way, you are providing our viewers with a wealth of information this morning, Joan. Talking about the striking bands, talking about the regulations and the rules regarding the playoff situation, the differences between Olympic and international rules and the rules we're familiar with in Canada. But you still owe me the steak dinner from the lost wager the other evening.
Yep. Wait. Yep. Hard.
Martin rolls the Yellowstone out, also takes the shooter out.
I'm just as surprised as you are, Don, that Joan knows all the terms.
Man, pick on Joan Day today. I'm just going to point on the bottom of your screen, left-hand side. You can see where those rocks were bouncing around, right where the Stone Colors logo is. There's little marks in the 12-foot. That's very unusual, Mike. I haven't seen it very much.
No, and you very rarely do see that. Most stones are made very uniform process, and that's one of the basic checks that they do make, is that the striking bands are at the same height.
Trulsen, 50% with draws, 50% with takeouts through 5 ends. On the other hand, Kevin Martin, 58% with draws, 100% with takeouts.
Looking for a little rub off this stone at the top 4, and he's going to make it too. Not quite enough.
Not quite. Great try.
And this is the great hitting ability of Kevin Martin here. He's not going to go directly after that yellow stone that's behind the guard. He's going to hit his own stone first, which is actually past that yellow stone.
Maybe easier in this intern spot. It's so straight.
And drive it in. So trying to come down, out-turn off his own into that yellow stone at the side.
And lots of weight.
Real hard.
This is over curling.
Yep,
Missed it.
hard.
On the red and nudging the yellow even further behind cover.
Sit inside the line.
Yeah.
Put it back. Didn't put it back enough.
Kevin Martin, I think, knows he had a chance to put the game away right there.
Nice easy hit here for 2.
Paul Trulsen with the final stone of N6. With a nose hit, he'll score 2.
Looks good.
He's right on target. But he may decide anyway that that's enough. Well, he said, I made 1 shot today, so we'll continue.
Oh, absolutely.
8-3. Canada leads Norway as we head to N7.
Things were getting pretty dull around here and here. Then I discovered New Aveeno Skin Brightening Moisturizer with soy and vitamins A and C. New Aveeno Skin Brightening Moisturizer. It smooths away a blotchy appearance, evens out skin tone for brighter, radiant skin.
This woman has a yeast infection, but it's the last thing on her mind.
She uses Monistat, the treatment found in more households. Not that you want it to be found. Monistat. Trust the cure you know.
Now is the perfect time to spend a few days in Toronto. Experience the cultures, great shopping, and dining. Plus, don't miss The Lion King, the stage smash that's dazzling the world. Packages start from only $205. Book your getaway today and come out and play.
Canada and Finland tied 2-2. A marvelous tournament.
This is amazing. I know. Is your internet access always this fast? Of course. Oh, this is awesome.
From the face-off, it's back to the point. Shooting.
The best time to go fast is always. Order Bell Simpatico High-Speed Edition today. For a limited time, pay $24.95 a month. Plus, get a free self-installation kit.
In the lush Central Valley of Chile, it's taken centuries of experience to grow fruit this good. Fortunately, it arrives fresh at Food Basics considerably faster. Fresh Chilean fruit. It's in season and in your supermarket right now. Brought to you with care by the fruit farmers of Chile and Food Basics.
On Feb 25th, watch for the X, the CBC Info Matrix. From 4 to 5 o'clock, see hyper new after-school shows like Myth Quest, as Alex and Cleo get pulled into a video screen into the alter world. And if you've ever wanted to be a spy, watch for clues on there to find the double agent on Spynet. If you like video games, you'll love Crash Zone. Plus, put your X on everything from music to video games. The X is coming, CBC Info Matrix, starting February 25th, 4 o'clock.
Eight-3 here in the sixth end as we get play underway, and you see Paul Trulsen has used the free guard zone to full advantage. Throwing up 2 center guards without last rock.
Wider.
Not much. Nope. Same.
Line's good. Clean.
Oh, lots.
Line's real good.
Clean.
Looks like a lot of weight.
Lots of weight.
Whoa. Room.
You can see Kevin Martin with those 2 center guards is really forced to play a come around.
Grab a piece. Give me a piece. Whoa.
Kevin Martin with 2 stones in the rings. 2 yellow stones sitting out front.
This end's actually setting up pretty well for a Norwegian steal here, Don. There's a couple of center guards, and that come around again by Don Bartlett slipped a little deeper than they had hoped.
Working hard to get it by. Just on the corner of the Canadian stones sitting on the button, and now Kevin Martin has decided to remove the stones out front.
Just the one?
Out turn. Huh? No, I'll get them both. There's no safe.
Pretty standard fare for Carter Rycroft.
Hard. Hard.
Real hard.
Hard.
Does he get both? No, he leaves the Yellowstone sitting out front as he drove one onto the other.
He did get it off the center line, however. The second yellow guard, it has rolled about a foot off the center line, and that does help Kevin Martin.
Carter Rycroft is so hard on himself, though. throughout this round robin. You'd hear him talking to himself, berating himself if he didn't get the shot perfect.
Yep, yeah.
And we may see Norway here just try to play a few shots, allow them to get their touch back. They've had such a struggle in this game. They know that they've got another round robin game to go, and they want to go into it with some positive feedback from the last few ends of this game.
And especially this man here, Fleming Davender, his numbers are really, really down.
Again, Martin wants that Yellowstone sitting out front removed. Carter Rycroft gets a second chance to do just that.
Well, Kevin likes the angles that are set up on those corner freezes right now and feels there's no real danger, no immediate danger anyway. So he's just going to peel the guard off and let Norway make a move and then possibly play a double later in the end. See Paul Trulsen wondering what to do with this stone, and another center guard. And Trulsen will try to wait as long as he can before he makes a move as well, knowing how accurate that Don Walchuk and Kevin Martin are with the big weight doubles.
Lars Weberg is actually playing very well this game. His numbers are in at 81% out of this team. Only Ramsfell at 94% is higher.
Again, Martin calls for this yellow guard to be removed by Don Walchuk. You made a comment earlier in round robin competition, Joan, that I'm sure our viewers found very interesting. Every time Kevin Martin takes a look at the house, his eyes darting around, scanning every possibility that exists, angle raises, that sort of thing, thinking well ahead as to what possibilities might exist should a shot be missed or made. Not only his upcoming shot, but the upcoming shot for the opposition.
Well, especially when there's a lot of rocks in play. You just watch his eyes go darting from here to there to everywhere. And you just know the wheels are turning, and how am I going to set this up, and how many shots is it going to take, and if he does this. And it's just fascinating.
And Kevin's also very good in the sense that he assumes that his opposition is going to make everything. So he's looking at every angle. He's not going to leave a difficult shot just because it's difficult. He's going to try to take everything away from it. He's going to make it impossible for you to score if he can do so, and not risk leaving an angle raise or a double or something where the opponents can score 2 or 3 points.
Well, we have heard him in other games say this shot exists for the opponent in this particular situation. He's always talking about, oh, he could make that, he'll be able to make this.
Yes, yes.
And Weberg makes the shot, but Canada still has shot stone sitting on the button.
These are lined up very well for Norway, though. But Don Walchuk will be throwing this at, I would say close to
warp
hard
speed.
As he can. 100 miles an hour, maybe.
Feel it this way.
He won't be light. Possibility of removing 2, possibly 3 of those yellow stones if you can drive it into the middle and rattle them around.
And as a viewer, these are the ones you love to watch. You know that there's going to be some granite flying. You love to see the rocks come down really hard.
Should have a rock time on this one.
As an opponent, you hate watching these ones.
Walchuk is going to move some of those yellow stones. How many? 1, 2 out of the rings.
That's a really good shot. And boom. And I said earlier in an earlier telecast, When we traveled with Kevin Martin's team to the 97 Worlds in Bern, Switzerland, that was Don's nickname, was Boom. He came in to clean up after the guys in front of him.
Ja, jag tror det alltså. Det verkar som det är lättare att hålla styr på den kvällen här alltså.
Looking for a freeze here. He'd like to hit this right on the nose and move his own yellow kind of back into that area and have a setup like that following when the stone stops. He's actually indicated he'd like to bump it back a little further and roll to dead freeze on the one on the center line.
Hva fart spiller du? Bakkant?
Ja, jeg må mer is.
Jeg tror også det. Er det akkurat 8 fot bak eller noe sånt? Ja, den 70-75.
And as hard as Don Walchuk throws it, Kevin Martin can throw the same high, accurate weight. So angles are everything here, and it's going to be very difficult for Paul to not line up another double on these Yellowstones.
75. Ja, bra fart!
Køle! Ja, ikke gæren! Køle!
Kommer nå! Det er fin fart. Begynner å bli litt løs.
Ja! Wow! Yes! Wow!
Very nice.
Ja, veldig bra.
On the nose, eh?
Just about on the nose.
So what do you want to do?
He's trying to drive. Talks about hitting this on the nose. And this stone's going to get some action back out of the forefoot if he hits it hard enough.
And also removing the backing. That may make his next shot a little easier.
Well, as Mike said, Don Walchuk can throw heat, so can Kevin Martin.
Whoa! Whoa! Hard!
The yellow backs up towards the front of the 12-foot, but not out of play.
I wanted to sweep.
I wanted to sweep, said Don Walchuk, but that didn't get to behind the tee line.
Even Donovan Bailey couldn't keep up with that stone.
You see the action here.
Watch where this Yellowstone is when it makes contact. And actually goes back up towards the front of the house.
But Walchuk can't sweep an opponent's stone ahead of the tee line. Well, we can update you on Northern Ontario. Tim Phillips has won Northern Ontario and will be heading to the Briar. So only Prince Edward Island still to be decided.
A couple of years ago, Tim Phillips got a tattoo on his arm of a Purple Heart because he figured that would be his only chance to go to the Briar. So now he's going to have to get another one. Maybe use the other arm. We'll see what he does.
The Olympic ring tattoo became quite famous in Nagano with one of your teammates in 1998.
Yes, Paul Savage had the curling rings tattooed.
Oh, clean.
So Kevin Martin is right on target, picks up one with the final stone of N7. And it's Canada leading by a 9-3 margin. 3 ends remaining. Canada in front by 6.
Bring home the mystery, the adventure.
This is for real.
The heroes.
Hard to believe he's still single.
Atlantis, the Lost Empire. Now on Disney DVD and video.
problem with looking for a job is that a job isn't actually what you're looking for. What you're really looking for is a chance to be happy, a chance to be something you've always wanted to be. So all you seekers, all you searchers, all you people who know that absolutely no one ever looked back on their life and said, gee, I wish I'd played it safe. All of you, get on board. Let's go. Post your resume today on monster.ca.
You the monster.
Now, the journey begins.
Make us proud, boys!
The mystery unfolds.
This is for real.
And the legend comes to life.
Welcome to Atlantis.
Atlantis, the Lost Empire, now on Disney DVD and video.
I missed by a hair.
Yours, Tom?
It runs in the family.
I told you, see your doctor. There's all kinds of things they can do for hair loss these days.
Come on, like that stuff actually works?
Well, it works for me, anyway.
Yeah, but is it possible to grow it back?
Sometimes, yes. See your doctor.
I'll give it a shot.
Better sooner than later.
Imagine if you could pick your ultimate hockey dream team. Who would you choose? Who'd be your forwards, your defensemen, your goaltenders? And what if you could check your team's progress online and make trades every day? And what if you could even win great Via Rail Canada travel prizes just for playing? Wouldn't that be something? Well, now you can do all this in the CBC Olympic Hockey Challenge. You'll find all the details on CBC's Olympic website. With more than $10,000 in travel prizes to be won, it's time to play the CBC Olympic Hockey Challenge.
Kevin Martin's father, Ab, wearing the baseball cap and the white Canada sweater, taught his son to curl on a two-sheeter in Lougheed, Alberta. And Kevin was 12 years old when he started skipping, and he has skipped ever since. Ab Martin is the ice maker at the Avonare Curling Club in Edmonton. We thought that they might shake hands even after 6 ends, but on 6, Trulsen scored a pair. Martin came back with a single on 7, and we were looking for a handshake again, but it appears as though Paul's in a position where he just wants to make some shots to regain some of his confidence. So they are going to play 8 at least.
And you never know, you get one mystery, you might have an opportunity to score 3. Young Carter Rycroft's had a great week. He has been the most consistent player on this Canadian team.
And I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that we've been telling the world that. He wanted to rub that in with his teammates.
Yes, as the youngest player on the team, he's often subject to a lot of abuse from his more experienced teammates. So Carter's certainly holding up his end of the bargain here in Salt Lake City.
I think he holds his own.
Norway coming in with a 6-1 record. They had 2 runaways, 9-2 against France and 9-4 against Denmark. They were 10-5 victors over Germany, but they were involved in 4 other one-point games. 1 they lost, 3 they won.
This team is extremely well prepared for these games. They spend a lot of time over in Canada using video training aids and a lot of practice time. You know, basically 2-3 hours a day on the ice, as well as doing some strategy sessions as well. And Paul Trulsen's been around a long time. He's a very good skip, very accomplished. He's been on the international scene since 1984 when he lost the World Junior Final to John Bass. And my current third will thank me for that little tidbit of information. It was a long time ago, but Paul's one of the, and also one of the nice guys too on the curling circuit. And you can see he's having a lot of fun out there, even though he's down in this game.
And that experience just dictates that he doesn't panic with his strategy. He always calls the right shot. I think the only time you see him panic is when it comes down to his own execution of the tough shot, the last shot of the end that may be very meaningful. That's the only time I think you see him, get a little overexcited and overthrow.
Here, Don Bartlett and Carter Rycroft have a wager on this shot, whether Walchuk will make the double. Carter Rycroft said no chance. Don Bartlett's with Walchuk on this one.
Yep. Added incentive.
Take a boat. Denied.
I don't think Carter was trying on that sweep.
Well, it's a pretty loose Canadian team this afternoon or this morning. And with a 9-3 lead with 3 ends remaining, you can afford to laugh and kibitz. A Canadian win will make it a 7-1 record for Kevin Martin with just 1 game remaining, and that will be tomorrow morning against Denmark. Norway would be 6-2. Sweden with a possibility to move into a tie for second at 6-2. The Swedes still with a shot, if they win their game against Germany, at finishing in first place. Remember, they beat Canada 6-5 on an extra end.
Peel that. There's no jam. Sure.
I know.
Just peel it.
Who's got shot right now?
We do. Hey, yes or nay? No.
The reason Kevin's playing the shot is that they are shot stone, and they know that Norway's going to have to make some sort of play on those in the button area, and Kevin will have a double on his first or second shot.
Might not even make contact with the first one.
Another wager on the double.
Yep. It's gonna be. It's gonna be.
Don Bartlett saying to Rycroft in that exchange, yay or nay? I'll take my man, said Bartlett, and Walchuk makes the double.
I should have known there was another rock in play. It was just there by itself.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, why not? Give it a goal. Couldn't jam anywhere. They're all half rocks. It's good.
So if Canada were to lose to Denmark and Sweden beat Germany, and they are currently tied at 2, and then won the final game against Norway, Sweden would finish in first place. But Denmark will go into the game against Canada with only 2 wins.
I guess no way getting rid of more than
Kevin Martin would like to remove some of this backing as well. Doesn't mind taking one out of his away as with the Norway shot stone as well.
They either roll out or nose this and lose one of his red stones at the back of the rings. He'd like to stay lying too, though. He'd still like to force Trulsen into a single point here.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll hurt a little. Whoa. Whoa, hard. Good. Yeah, that would have been all the way we would have used that double. But not enough.
Kevin was referring to that double he tried in 6 off his own that he overthrew.
I believe I said Denmark only had 2 wins. Ulrich Schmidt has won 3.
Litt mindre, Lars. Litt mindre.
Last chance for a freeze here for Paul Trulsen. He needs to key this right on the nose, and it's going to over curl, unfortunately.
Kevin Martin just wants to make that go away.
One of the other reasons that Trulsen might want it to play more ends on this sheet is that this is the sheet the finals are going to be played on, and just to get familiar with ice conditions and the rocks on the sheet as well.
Kevin Martin's final stone of end number 8. He picks the yellow out of there cleanly. So the best Trulsen can do on 8 is pick up a single point. And Canada would still lead by 5 with 2 ends remaining.
Take it.
Paul's playing a draw. Same shot he just threw.
Litt lenger.
Ja, inn med fakta. Kom igjen. Er den lang?
Nei.
Kom igjen da. Hvis den er lang, kan dere ta den.
Jeg tror den stopper. Stopper den her.
Ja.
And he draws in for a single point. We've been thinking handshake since 6. Will they shake hands now? Yes, it's all over. Trulsen comes down and talks to his teammates and said, that's it, 9-4 will be the final score. Canada over Norway in 8 ends. So Canada's Kevin Martin is 1 draw away from claiming first place in the men's round robin.
So you have to do